Imagine for a moment the scene, a silent valley surrounded by mountains and ancient forests in the heart of Portugal. The wind blows gently, caressing the entrance of a cave forgotten by time. It is in this setting, between shadows and filtered light, that a secret has rested for 30,000 years, waiting for the moment to be revealed to humanity. A child's skeleton wrapped in red ochre, carefully placed in the earth by loving hands. The features, when studied millennia later, do not fully belong to our species, nor to that of the Neanderthals. What if this boy was, in fact, the missing link? A living portrait of a moment when the fate of two human lineages intertwined forever. In the year 1998, Portuguese archaeologists were excavating the Lapedo Valley near the city of Leiria when they came across a discovery that would shake the foundations of European archaeology. Among the sediments of the Lagar Velo cave, the almost complete skeleton of a 4-year-old child appeared, buried with remarkable care. The burial, marked by the use of red ochre and the meticulous arrangement of the body, would already be an extraordinary find in itself. But what the scientists would discover upon analyzing those bones was even more impactful. The Lapedo boy, as he became known, did not fit the usual patterns found in paleoanthropology manuals. By carefully studying the skull and jaw, specialists noticed undeniable similarities with the anatomy of modern Homo sapiens. But when analyzing the structure of the femur, pelvis, and other parts of the body, robust and distinctive traits of Neanderthals appeared. It was as if, in a single body, two worlds were united, two lineages long considered separate. The boy was a living fusion, tangible proof that the boundaries between human species were much more porous than previously thought. For decades, the prevailing theory was that Neanderthals had been completely replaced by Homo sapiens, with little or no interbreeding between the species. The discovery of the Lapedo boy turned this narrative upside down. For the first time, there was concrete physical evidence of interbreeding between these two human lineages. The boy, with his hybrid bones, made visible what was previously only a hypothesis. Modern humans and Neanderthals not only coexisted in Europe, but also shared blood ties, culture, and, perhaps, affection. The burial of the boy was filled with symbolism. The body was carefully covered with red ochre, a pigment that, for millennia, symbolized both life and death in human rituals. Around the small skeleton, archaeologists found animal bones, probably placed as offerings or part of a funeral ritual. These details reveal a keen awareness of death and of the importance of honoring those who depart. Even more, they suggest that the cultures involved shared symbolic values, perhaps even similar spiritual beliefs. Amid the brutality of prehistoric survival, there was room for care, memory, and meaning. In the dim light of the cave, traces of fire were also found. As if 30,000 years ago, someone had watched over that small body by the flickering light of the flames. The human warmth, literally engraved in the charcoal marks on the walls, still seems to whisper stories of mourning, hope, and continuity. It is a poetic image. While the world outside changed, in that cave, a gesture of love and respect was eternally preserved. The Lapedo Valley, following this discovery, became one of the most important archaeological sites in Europe. Very few places in the world have preserved such ancient and well-preserved child burials. The Lapedo boy not only expanded knowledge about Paleolithic funerary rituals, but also served as a beacon for new research on the genetic and cultural complexity of prehistoric Europe. The continent, far from being a stage of violent and abrupt replacements, revealed itself as a true genetic melting pot, where encounters, exchanges, and mixing were the rule, not the exception. With the advancement of genetic research, other pieces of this puzzle began to emerge. Studies in current human populations have shown that Almost all individuals outside the African continent carry between 1% and 2% Neanderthal DNA. This prehistoric marriage, which for so long was considered unlikely or rare, proved to be much more frequent than previously thought. Hybridization was not an isolated phenomenon, but a recurring process that shaped human diversity as we know it today. The Lapedo skeleton, although silent, cries out to those who know how to listen. It challenges the paradigm of absolute separation between human species. It indicates that, contrary to a history marked only by conflicts and extinctions, there were also encounters, cultural exchanges, and possibly even love between groups that once seemed opposite on the evolutionary tree. Humanity, in its essence, has always been a rich and complex tapestry, woven from threads of different origins. The initial reaction of the scientific community was disbelief and even resistance. Many archaeologists and paleoanthropologists trained in rigid paradigms tried to discredit the data or seek alternative explanations. But time and new evidence, such as the discovery of the mysterious Denisovans in Siberia, came to validate the revolutionary value of the Lapedo boy. The Portuguese hybrid became a reference in debates about human hybridization, influencing research worldwide. The Lapedo boy, deep down, is much more than a fossil. He is a bridge between the past and the present, between science and imagination. A child buried with honor tens of thousands of years ago forces us to rethink what it means to be human. Not a straight line, but an intricate tapestry of lineages that cross, intertwine, and complement each other. No one is pure. No one is exclusive. Humanity is, and always has been, the result of mixing. The concept of pure species is gradually becoming obsolete in the face of evidence. Human evolution was marked by encounters and mergers, by moments of separation and reunion. The Lapedo boy is just one of the few examples that have reached us. How many other stories have been lost in the dust of time? How many other hybrid links will never be found? What matters is that, deep down, we all carry within us a collective heritage, the result of these ancestral mergers. Among all the fascinating aspects of this discovery, perhaps the most touching is to remember that it is a child, a small being, only 4 years old, loved enough to deserve a dignified burial, even in times of extreme hardship and danger. This connects us to them in a deep and visceral way. Amid the struggle for survival, there was time for affection, for mourning, for the hope that, somehow, that boy would continue to live on in the memory of his people. The influence of the Lapedo boy went beyond the walls of the academy. His discovery led scientists to revisit theories about the culture and creativity of Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. Perhaps, after all, they shared not only blood but also language, art, rituals, and traditions. The idea of a common heritage gained strength, and with it, the perception that European prehistory was, above all, a collective mosaic, a true extended family united by invisible bonds. Today, in a world marked by polarizations, borders, and exclusions, the boy from Lapedo brings a powerful message. Diversity is inscribed in our origin. Connecting with others, mixing, learning from difference, all of this is an essential part of the human experience. We are not the exception, but the rule of our own existence. When we look back to the silent bones of history, we realize that the deepest answers about who we are, where we came from, and where we are going may lie precisely in these ancestral voices. The boy from Lapedo, 30,000 years ago, could not have imagined that he would be the protagonist of a scientific and philosophical revolution. But thanks to him, today we know that humanity is not defined by walls but by bridges. Not by purity, but by mixture. Not by separation, but by encounters. The boy from Lapedo invites us to reflect. How many other secrets still lie beneath the earth, waiting to be discovered. How many stories, how many gestures of humanity, how many proofs that we are all relatives, connected by an invisible web of ancestry. If this story touched you, imagine how many others are still silently kept in the soils of our planet, waiting to be brought to light. Every archaeological discovery, every fossil, every fragment of culture is a fundamental piece in the great puzzle of humanity. Knowing the past is not just an intellectual exercise. It is, above all, a way to understand ourselves, our origins, our fears, and our dreams. By following the clues left by our ancestors, we embark on a journey that goes beyond science. It is a journey to the core of the human condition, to what makes us unique and, at the same time, deeply connected. Each new archaeological finding is a window that opens to other times, other worlds, other possibilities of being and existing. The boy from Lapedo, with his story of love, loss, and miscegenation, is the symbol of this tireless quest. He reminds us that behind every fossil there is a life, a family, a community. There are dreams, fears, hopes, and above all, there is the desire to belong, to be remembered, to be part of something greater than oneself. Therefore, if you felt inspired by this story, know that the journey is just beginning. The past has much to teach us, and the answers we seek are often hidden in the deepest layers of the earth and of our own being. Join this adventure, dive into the richness of prehistory, discover the roots that connect us all. After all, understanding the boy from Lapedo is understanding oneself. It is accepting that humanity is made of encounters, of mixtures, of bridges that cross time and space. It is recognizing that, deep down, we are all children of the same great and ancient family. If this story moved you, imagine how many others are still hidden beneath the earth. Subscribe to the channel, The Curious Order, and join us on these journeys to the past that reveal who we really are. Because sometimes the deepest answers lie in the silent bones of history.